Okay guys, thanks for joining us. We wanted to take a chance to go over some knots. We get onto the boat and nobody likes to stop and tie everybody's knots on, including myself. So we figure that's probably pretty common with everybody, so we wanted to take the chance to go over the various knots that we use, and maybe it'll help you out. So the first knot we're going to show you is the polymer knot. This is a great knot for tying on jig heads, and so this is what it looks like. You take your line, go through the eye of the hook, okay, and you're going to go right back through it. So, looks like that. Okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to tie an overhand knot like this. Okay, I'm going to take this loop and I'm going to go around. I'm going to tuck that through the jig. So it look like that. I always like to wet my line. So we're going to snug it down. And we're just going to pull. I'm going to pull this tag end just like that. I'll take the tag end and clip it off. And there you go. So that's how that looks. How'd you do, Cars?
Good.
Perfect. Okay guys, one of the reasons why the polymer knot is so good is because it tends to hold your bait true. And what I mean by that is, you see how flat that's sitting? A lot of baits, after you work them, depending on what knot you're using, they end up sitting like that. And it's not a natural presentation. The longer you can keep your bait in a flat presentation, the better. And this knot holds on the eye of that hook and maintains that nice flat presentation. That being said, I mean, obviously nothing's perfect. All knots, they're going to slide a little bit. But this one, I mean, it takes quite a bit of force to get it up and move it once you have it cinched down. More force than some of the other knots anyway. So that's why we like the polymer. Okay, Cars, here we go. Next knot. Next knot is the improved clinch knot. So the improved clinch knot, we're going to go through the eye of the hook, and we're going to hold right here at the base. Now we're going to take our line and we're going to wrap. I generally try to do about 6 times. 6. And we're going to take our line and go through the loop that we were holding down here. Go through. Now you can see how there's a loop formed there again. We're going to take this and go back through that same spot. And there you go. Now we'll take and hold the tag and hold the main line, and we're going to snug it down. So right here, once we get to here, I'm going to wet it again. The reason why I like to wet that line is when you're cinching this down, it cinches down and causes friction, causes heat. It's always a good idea just to maintain a lubricated line so that you don't get any deformations or anything like that when you cinch down. So we're going to cinch this down. I'm going to trim our tag. How'd you do, Cars? So, this is the improved clinch knot. Good to go.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, this is our third knot. This one is the uni knot. So we'll go through the eye of our hook and up, and we're going to hold it just right here. We're going to take our tag and make another loop. So it's sitting just like that. Now we're just going to do multiple overhand knots. I'm going to do about 6. We're going to take that tag and just pull it up. And I'm going to wet it again. And pull that tag. On this one, I can pull that tag a little tighter. Now I'm just going to take this, let go of the tag, and pull down. And it cinches right up. Got your tag. And that's the uni. How'd you do, buddy?
Good.
Yeah? Not so well.
Nope.
Okay.
I think I forgot to go back through the hole at the end.
So Carlos is going to retry this, and we'll move to the next knot. Okay, guys. Now we are going to go over connecting braided line to our mono or fluoro, whatever you're connecting. So for this one, there's all kinds of different ways. I'm going to show you our favorite. This is the double uni. So you're going to do the same thing you did really in connecting it to your jig. So we're going to pull the line. We're just going to loop it just like that. And we're going to take and do okay. Now we're going to take a chance to show you how we connect braided to mono or fluoro. There's a bunch of different knots out there for this. This one just happens to be my favorite. Since we just came off of the uni knot, we're going to show you the double uni is the way we connect this. So you're going to take your tag end on the one side. You're going to hold this, leave you plenty of tag on both sides. And we're going to take the tag, and we're going to loop, make a loop. And now we're going to take this and we're going to go around 6 times, just like an overhand. Okay. Now I'm going to take, oh, excuse me, see, even I screw up. I'm going to take this back around to the 6th time. We're going to pull this tag and cinch it down till we get about to right there. Okay. Now we're going to take this other side. And the other side, we're doing the same thing. We're going to take this, make a loop, just so that I can show you both sides. I'm holding that side, this other knot's there. We're going to hold just above it. And I'm going to wrap this side around 6 times. So it sits just like that. There's your other side. Now we're going to let go of both ends and grab your main line and pull them, and it's going to suck them down to each other. And I'm going to just wet that, and I'm going to pull each tag. And then I'm just going to pull it together and it'll cinch in. So, I don't know if you can see that. That is perfect. On this one, I really, on the other ones, it's not that big a deal if you leave a little bit of your tag. And just once you get it good and tight, I like to clip my tags on this one as close as you can. Obviously, don't clip your main lines. The reason why I do that is generally, obviously you're putting this through your guides and you don't want it to hang up. So I'm using huge braid here. So typically the knot will be a little bit smaller, but I'm doing this so you can see pretty good. So that's the double uni. How'd you do, buddy?
Good.
Okay. All right. One of the nice things about this knot, it also works when you're connecting two lines together, mono and mono, if you're putting a leader on or something like that. You get a nice transition. Some of these other knots, you'll end up just with a little L in it, or it's not just a perfect line to line. But you see how flat that one is, if that makes sense. So uni, double uni, very good knot. All right, guys, on to the next. So we got mono to mono here. Obviously, like I said before, you can use double uni, which is actually my preferred way. Another way is a blood knot. This is pretty common in fly fishing, but it works here too. So we're going to cross our lines, keep two tags, about that long would work. And we're going to hold right down here like this was the eye of the hook, and we're going to wrap 6 times. And then take your line, and up here where you were holding is a little loop. Now go through that loop so it's sitting like that, and then take your hand and hold that right there. Okay, now you're going to take this other side, and you'll notice that they're opposite. One goes one way, one goes the other way. So you'll take this line and go the opposite way as far as wrapping counterclockwise or clockwise. Do the same thing. And now you're going to take the line. If you see that little loop, you're going to take your line right back through it. And my eyes suck, so good luck. My eyes really do suck. Maybe that's why I use the other one so much. Okay. Sorry. So you end up looking like something like this. Okay. So both this side wrapped around that way, came back through, same on the other side. So now I'm going to take, I've got all of these held in my hand. I'm going to take those two and hold them up there with that hand, and I'm going to wet. And then I'm just going to suck this down. That was the one side. Now I can take these tags and suck them down, and then I'm going to let those go, and I'm just going to pull this center line, and you'll see what happens. It just kind of sucks down. Let down again. And there you go. You can see how flat that one is too. It's much like the uni. It's a really good knot to put a leader on or tie 2 lines together, add some extra line, whatever you need to do. So obviously from there, once again, same as I told you on the uni, I like to clip mine pretty short. I've even seen some guys when they're dealing with bigger lines on Lakers and stuff like that, they'll just take a match and just kind of bump it a little bit. So that is the blood knot. How'd you end up, buddy?
Good.
Cool. All you got to do is cut your tags and you're good to go. Okay, blood knot. Okay, so that concludes the knot tying portion of our show. So we've gone over all the knots. Comment down below if you've got any questions or want to see something else. And the good news is I ain't got to tie any of his knots now.
Yep.
Catch you next time.